The story begins with Vision waking up in the cradle, empowered by the Mind Stone, and becoming one of the most advanced forms of artificial intelligence in the world. Whatever he imagines, he can create in an instant. Since Vision's creation was forced by Thor, Jarvis's consciousness was never fully awakened, leaving everyone wondering if Vision might be another Ultron. But Vision quickly reassures everyone that he was born for peace. This brings a sigh of relief to everyone, but the next moment immediately turns the atmosphere awkward, as Thor not only wants to find a place to hide, but even the Avengers are left speechless. Now, with the addition of Vision and the twins, everyone quickly prepares their gear to head to Sokovia to destroy Ultron. Tony also uses the AI Friday to replace Jarvis, and to avoid civilian casualties, they begin evacuating people to safety. Meanwhile, Tony tracks down Ultron, but Ultron instantly sees through Tony's plan and uses his remaining shockwaves to create an anti-gravity device, planning to lift the entire city into the sky and drop it like an asteroid to destroy humanity. To stop the Avengers, Ultron sends out countless robots to intercept them, and the Avengers quickly engage in battle. At this point, Vision confronts Ultron and uses the power of the Mind Stone to remove Ultron from the network. But Vision himself enters a weakened state. Ultron, in the meantime, activates the anti-gravity device, tearing the ground apart as the whole city begins to rise slowly into the sky, posing a devastating threat to humanity. On the other side, Banner plans to help Black Widow evacuate people, but is instead pushed off a platform, where Black Widow summons Hope, who then rushes to the front lines with her. Thor, halfway through flying to rescue people, also heads down to help. Tony, by studying the anti-gravity device, discovers that the only solution is to destroy the entire city. Just as everyone is unsure of what to do, Nick Fury arrives in a spaceship. The Avengers engage in a fierce battle with Ultron's robotic army. The combination of Thor and Captain America's skills becomes more and more impressive, while Hawkeye, the only archer, is still making a significant contribution. Although the number of enemies keeps growing, and Hawkeye finds himself in a tough spot. At a critical moment, Scarlet Witch appears and, with a single wave of her hand, wipes out the small enemies in front of her. Then Quicksilver joins her to clean up the next wave of robots. Surprisingly, the incredibly fast Quicksilver gets shot, but it doesn't affect his output in the slightest. At this moment, Tony, studying the anti-gravity device, detects that once it's reversed, the entire city will fall rapidly, and many innocent people will perish. Just as everyone is at a loss, Nick Fury arrives in the spaceship with several lifeboats, enough to evacuate all the people. Not only that, he brings along General Rhodes. With the Avengers' help, the civilians begin boarding the ship, while Thor is locked in a confrontation with Ultron. Ultron declares that if he turns the core, the city will be destroyed. As expected, the villain's monologue leads to his downfall, and Vision smashes him away with Thor's hammer. To prevent Ultron from reaching the core, the Avengers unite to buy time for the evacuation. Ultron waves his hand, and countless soldiers appear, marking the beginning of a human-robot war. However, these small soldiers are no match for the Avengers, easily becoming cannon fodder. Faced with such devastating superheroes, Ultron has no choice but to join the fray himself. However, he's met with a triple strike from Iron Man, Thor, and Vision. Injured, Ultron stands up, attempting another monologue, only to be punched 1,000 miles away by Hope. At this moment, Scarlet Witch senses the death of her brother, and in an explosion of grief, she unleashes terrifying power. Hulk, perhaps realizing his earlier mistake, jumps onto the aircraft and throws Ultron back. Scarlet Witch steps forward and takes Ultron's heart. Just as she's about to end him for good, an overlooked device activates and the city begins to rapidly plummet to the ground. At this critical moment, Tony steps up once again. With Thor's thunderous strike, the city is destroyed in an instant. Ultimately, Vision destroys Ultron in a small forest, and the crisis is finally over. Meanwhile, Hulk receives a call from Black Widow on the plane, but chooses not to answer, instead flying off on his own. Tony decides to retire for a while, and Hawkeye returns home to spend time with his family. Captain America and Black Widow begin training new members: Vision, Rhodes, Falcon, and Wanda. And with that, today's story concludes. See you next time.